Hey everyone, Marco here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll show you how you can automate your discovery call workflow using ClickUp, Fathom and Zapier. If you are tired of manually managing your sales pipeline, scheduling calls, updating statuses and transferring meeting notes, then this is going to change the game for you. So without further ado, let's jump in. First, let's talk about how to structure the discovery call stage inside ClickUp. You have two options. If a discovery call is essential before you qualify a lead, it should be a status inside the accounts list, sitting right before the prospect status. But if a discovery call is always part of your sales process, it belongs in the deals list as the first stage. For this setup, I'll place it in the accounts list so that I only create a deal after confirming the lead's potential. So here's how the process looks inside ClickUp. A lead comes in. If they are engaged, move them to lead follow-up. If they are still interested, move them to discovery call. From there, if the call goes well, move them to prospect and create a new task in your deals pipeline. But now, let's automate this using Zapier. Basically, when a lead is moved to discovery call, the first Zap will find the account linked to the lead, find the contact linked to that account, and create a new task in the discovery calls list in ClickUp. Let's build this automation. As trigger, I use a webhook and select Catch Hook as the trigger event. Click Continue and then click Continue again. Now copy the webhook URL and return to ClickUp. In the accounts list, create an automation called Lead Follow-up Discovery Call. I want this automation to trigger when the task status changes from lead follow-up to discovery call. It should then call a webhook. Paste the URL here, hit save, and let's move our task from lead follow-up to discovery call. Let's return to Zapier and click Test Trigger. As you can see, we successfully received all the data from our task. Select it and click Continue with the selected record. Next, we need to retrieve all the information about the account and its associated contact. Let's add ClickUp and select Find Task by ID as the action event. Choose your account and click Continue. Here I select the ID retrieved by the webhook as the task ID. Click Continue to test the step. As you can see, we have retrieved all the information about the account. Now it's time to retrieve the contact details. The contact was stored in a relationship field within the account task, so I add another ClickUp action and select Find Task by ID again. I choose my account and click Continue. For the ID, I search for the contact value ID stored in the previous step. Click Continue and test the step. Finally, let's add another ClickUp action. This time it will be a Create Task action. Select the account and click Continue. Here you need to select the workspace, the space, the folder, and the list, which in my case is Discovery Calls. As the task name, we can use phrases such as Discovery Call with, followed by the name of the contact and the name of the account in square brackets. Let's click Continue and test this final step. Let's return to ClickUp, and as you can see, this new task automatically appears with the status of To Schedule. And the task name includes both the contact name and the account name. At this point, we can link the contact to the task using the relationship field and set the dates for the discovery call. Now, to simplify scheduling, first we need to create an automation within ClickUp. Let's name it Book Discovery Call. When the scheduled field is checked, it triggers a new webhook that starts our second zap. So let's create a new zap. Add a webhook and choose Catch Hook as the trigger event. Click Continue, then click Continue again, and now copy the webhook URL, return to ClickUp and paste it into the automation. Check the box, return to Zapier, and click Test Trigger. Now that we have our record, select it and let's move on to the next step. First, I want to update the task. Add ClickUp and choose Update Task as the action event. Select your account and click Continue. Choose the workspace. And although it's not mandatory, I prefer to specify the space, the folder, and the list as well. In the task field, I enter the task ID retrieved from the webhook. Now I want to change the status to scheduled. Click Continue and test the step. Next, we add another ClickUp step. For the action event, we choose Find Task by ID. Select your account and click Continue. As the task ID, I select the contact ID stored in the attendee field from the previous step. Click Continue to test the step. Finally, as the last step, we add Google Meet and select Schedule a Meeting as the action event. Add your account and click Continue. Choose the calendar, and for the summary, which corresponds to the event title, I insert the name of the task retrieved by the webhook. For the start date, I enter the start date, and for the end date, I enter the due date, both retrieved from the ClickUp task. Finally, in the attendee emails, I insert the email of the contact we retrieved from the previous step. Hit Continue and test the step. Now, if we return to ClickUp, we will see that our task is marked as scheduled. And if we open the calendar, you will find the event right here. But here's where it gets even more interesting. And Fathom plays a key role. If you don't know what Fathom is, it's an excellent AI note-taker that records, transcribes, and summarizes calls while highlighting key action items and more. I have published various videos about it. I link the playlist in the description. And if you want to try Fathom, use my affiliate link to receive a full month of Fathom Premium for free. You can find the link in the description below. So what's the idea here? Instead of manually copying and pasting meeting notes, we will send the AI summary automatically generated by Fathom directly into ClickUp, in the corresponding discovery call task. So let's create our third and final zap. This time we will use Fathom as the trigger and select a new AI summary as the trigger event. After connecting your Fathom account, click Continue. Select the meeting group you want to track. For me, it's My Meetings. Click Continue and test the trigger. Zapier will retrieve your most recent meeting. In this case, I edited the content because I couldn't create a discovery call demo for this specific case. However, what you will retrieve includes the meeting title, which corresponds to the meeting title on your calendar and the ClickUp task, as well as the AI summary and other relevant data. Select the record, click on Continue with selected record, and connect to ClickUp. The action event we want to use is Find a list of all tasks. This time we cannot use the Find Task by ID action because we don't have the task ID stored in Fathom. So select your account and click Continue. Here I select the workspace, the space, the folder, and the list. I want to display only the tasks with the status set to scheduled. Continue and test the step. Now we need to filter the results of this step. So let's add a filter. Here I specify that the automation should only continue if the task name retrieved from ClickUp exactly matches the meeting title obtained from Fathom. If so, let's add the final ClickUp action. The action event we need is Update Task. Select your account, click Continue, and then choose the workspace, space, folder, and list. As the task ID, use the task retrieved from the second step and include the Fathom AI summary in the task description. Change the task status to complete and add the recording URL to the meeting recording link. Hit Continue to test the step. If we return to ClickUp, you will see that the task is complete with its meeting recording in the proper field and the AI summary in the task description. Now, the process is solid and seems to work well, but actually we are missing something. What happens if we have multiple discovery calls scheduled at the same time? If we simply gather all tasks in a list, Zapier will return multiple results, and the filter will not function as intended. So we need to introduce looping. First we clear the task description and recording link fields in ClickUp. Then reset the task status back to scheduled. Then we add an additional task to ensure that our Find a List of All Tasks action retrieves a list of items. Now, in our Zap, we use a loop to process each task individually. We specify two values to extract, the task name and the task ID. Now we update the filter and the update task action based on the loop results. Now, to test this effectively without waiting for a real meeting, I will temporarily replace the Fathom trigger with a webhook. I take the webhook URL and paste it into a ClickUp automation. I prepared a task name that corresponds to the meeting title and an AI summary field containing the complete AI summary generated by Fathom. That way I can manually trigger the Zap by just checking a box. So click the box and test the webhook. As you can see, we have our meeting title and AI summary. Now I can step through the process, adjusting the filter, the task description, and using a sample URL as meeting recording link. Okay, with everything set up, it's time to publish the Zap. Now, let's return to ClickUp, check the trigger box to simulate a real meeting being processed. And just like that, only the correct discovery call task is updated. And that's it. This setup makes your process smoother, faster, and automated. If you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, remember you can follow me on X, Mastodon, and Blue Sky, join my Discord server, and subscribe to my newsletter for more deep dives into productivity, knowledge management, and automation. All the links are below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, stay productive.